Go ahead.
I'm going to start with you because they're already on to something.
I know.
Should the injury be a legit excuse for LeBron? Chris?
I'll just say I'm intrigued by LeBron's pattern.
Huh.
Do we know what that is? Month to month, a different thing? I want to know what that is to lead them. But what I'll say is this. Excuse is a strong word.
Thank you.
But if I had to say, why are the Lakers not in the playoffs? What's the one reason that their season is over? There's a lot, and LeBron had a lot to do with a lot of mistakes. But if I had to point to one thing, just the playoffs. No, I would say the injury.
Yes.
If he's healthy, if he doesn't miss those 17 straight games and 18 overall with the injury, or come back. Now, I guess that's up for debate. How hurt was he when he still came back? He put up great numbers, but couldn't win. If you take the way that injury, I think all that's different. I'm not necessarily saying they're the 4th seed, but they're in the playoffs. And I think even Skip, agrees with that. So by that definition, I would say, yeah, it's a legitimate reason. I'd rather use that word than excuse.
I offered an explanation.
Right, yeah, it's an explanation. Now, it doesn't excuse a lot of the things LeBron did wrong. He didn't close out a lot of games early, and then obviously when he came back from injury. I don't think his leadership was as good as it's been in the past.
I agree.
I think whatever his involvement was in the Anthony Davis fiasco, that got out of control, and he had some
involvement or non-involvement.
Yeah, whatever the case, he's in there somewhere. Okay, how much we don't know. So but the injuries you cannot discount. I think if you sit back and look at this season fairly, you're gonna have to, 1, point to LeBron's injury, and 2, the other injuries.
Rondo.
He brought up, and I think obviously, look, he brought it up conveniently, but the fact it is true that he, Kuzma, Lonzo, and Brandon Ingram only played 23 games together, and in those 23, they were 15-8.
Project that out over 82, Skip.
23 games. I mean,
project that over 82, Skip.
So my turn?
No, I'm gonna let you. You know what, Skip? Because I want you to. If you're willing to project that out, I'll let you go. Go ahead, and project that out. But go ahead, Skip. Take it away.
Thank you for giving me the floor. Now it's my turn, and I am sorry. I am calling big BS on LeBron James for planning yet another injury excuse, with all those billions of blind witnesses out there who will just blindly accept it and say, he was hurt. He was hurt. He doesn't have enough help and he was hurt. Why doesn't he just man up one time? Just man up and just say, we had a bad year and I will bounce back better than ever next year, because he just well might.
Because that'd be a lie.
That's
you want him to lie?
Oh, why do you have to revise history? Because he revised history dramatically, just the way he tried to revise history after they got swept by Golden State, and he goes to the post-game media session wearing a soft cast on his right hand.
I like the cast.
Stop it.
That wasn't a good look.
Stop it, Drama King. That's Drama King.
Only thing
you call him Drama Queen, but I'm going to just stay with the King.
The only thing, he didn't divulge how he did it. They said he did it against the blackboard.
Okay.
He hit JR's side and noggin.
Maybe he did. Maybe he did. I just have to reiterate that he told Allie Clifton about what happened on December 25th at Golden State. He's saying, I'm on a routine fast break. Drummond kind of gets his hand on the ball. I lose a little bit, and I tear my groin. Quote, unquote. I tear my groin. And then, I'm sorry, but the next day, he sees the 3D picture, the soft tissue picture of his groin. The doctors look at it. The team doctors, I don't know who looked at it. Probably a bunch of doctors looked at it and said, LeBron, you have a grade 2 strain of your groin, but you're going to be okay. Let's give it 3 to 6 weeks. Somewhere in there, maybe 3 weeks, given your history, you'll be back. So he tweets, dodged a bullet with a big exclamation point. Sheesh, praying hands to the Almighty above. Hashtag back in no time. If he had torn his groin and they said, LeBron, you have a torn groin, there's no way he is tweeting that, because you can't tweet out of a torn groin.
If
you tear your groin, it's possible you're done for the year.
But he didn't want
grades of tears.
But here's the thing, Skip, look at this here. I tore it. That's a tear, right?
Right.
That's a tear, Skip.
I don't like that noise.
That's a tear, Skip. You see what I'm saying? They're grade. They're level to this thing, Skip.
Here we have a situation that smacks of what happened to number 2 in San Antonio last year, because 3 weeks later, on January 16th, a Wednesday, the Lakers post a release that says, straight from the lake, official, LeBron James evaluated by our team medical staff and physicians today and has been cleared to return to practice commencing next week. Does that mean he had a torn groin? I think not. I think the Lakers just flat out said he's got a strained groin, and it looks like it's on the mend.
I think
is that not what they just called out LeBron James? And how did his agent, Rich Paul, immediately respond? He called you and everybody else.
Well, I was told, I said it on this show, that LeBron, I don't know what it was, 5 weeks in or 4 weeks, whatever.
This was
that if
3.
it were the playoffs, he'd be able to play.
Okay.
I remember that.
Yeah.
If it was the playoffs, he'd be ready to play. And instead, Rich Paul just goes crazy, and he probably wasn't quite as profane with you because he would respect, that I'm not going to do it to Chris, but to Sam Amick of The Athletic, he says, this is Rich Paul, quote, we don't give a, and he just used the whole word, you know what? Nobody thinks or says. We're not on nobody else's timeline. So obviously they were angry that the Lakers had posted this, had released that
They
he
were
is on
angry
schedule.
that the Lakers tried to put them under the gun by releasing them and forcing them to come back. Because remember, the Lakers were in a tailspin, and they tried to put the pressure on him, knowing like LeBron, because remember in the interview, he said as he saw the lead start to dissipate in the Golden State game, he's like, I need to go. And the trainer's like, well, hold on, bro. We hadn't fully diagnosed you yet. So the Lakers were trying to appeal to his emotion.
Okay.
Well,
So, what does the Hall of Fame Shannon Sharpe always tell me? What has he told me for about 3 years?
I don't know.
The golden rule is, if you put on that uniform and you step on that field or that court, you have no excuses. You are playing football or basketball.
I want you to hold that. You too now. So when he says he needs load management, I don't want to hear nothing. Why isn't he playing?
Did you not say that? Was that not your golden rule?
That's exactly what I said. So LeBron and athletes moving forward in the NBA, if you can't give me 100%,
okay. So
Chris Broussard said it's okay to sit it down.
Torn groin, quote unquote.
Stop doing hashtags. We know what you said.
Quote unquote.
I've done a lot of those.
I'm not doing hashtags. LeBron was averaging 35 minutes a game, 27, 8, and 7.
Yes!
Nice numbers. Then he comes back and he goes up to 36 minutes a game, and he goes up to 28, 9, and 10. That's post, quote unquote, torn groin. Stop it, LeBron. Just stop it. Like, you're fine. And what did your eye test tell you? You know and I know. If you have a torn groin and you're trying to rush it back, you're going to be limpy, you're going to be gimpy, you're going to protect that one leg, you're going to wince, you're going to grimace. I saw none of the above.
Chris,
I saw full-scale LeBron James.
Let me ask you,
All-out LeBron
I ask you
James.
This one time. I was wondering, and you tell me this. When was the last time you saw an all-time great player get his shot blocked at the end of the game with the palm by a guy we've never heard of?
I've seen it many times when he shies from the free throw line. He just doesn't want to shoot the free throw.
No.
He got caught. I don't want to get the foul. I don't want to have to shoot these free throws.
I said get his shot blocked with the palm. I didn't say take a shot and miss it.
I was the one who pointed that out to you the next day.
And I told you why.
I think where we saw it mostly was his defense, because that groin is going to affect your lateral.
Yes, Skip Bayless.
His defense wasn't. Look, it's not LeBron James'
Did you see him
defense
explode and tomahawk dunk
every
it?
once in a while he did.
Yes.
Just let me ask, because I feel a lot of what you said, Skip, but let me ask you this question. If LeBron doesn't get hurt on Christmas Day, let's say he just plays his regular 78 games, whatever, are they in the playoffs?
Okay, here's the flashpoint that I forget if you brought it up, but once you tear the team apart over Anthony Davis, all bets are off. You can average 30, 20, and 20. You can go Russell Westbrook, and you've lost those kids that you say you lead so beautifully.
So that's your biggest reason.
Okay, well, it just tore them apart. I still think if he'd come back and average those numbers, and again, they lost some key pieces. Lonzo was a huge loss on the defensive end.
Right.
He just was. So again,
Ingram's numbers were good. Ingram played well after the Anthony Davis.
So did Kuzma.
What I'll give you is this, and we know there's always drama with LeBron. Even if he doesn't get hurt on Christmas Day, and again, I stand by they would have been in the playoffs.
I agree.
But the question is this, would this Anthony Davis thing still have become an issue? Because LeBron, every year in Cleveland, there was some drama.
Yeah.
And so even if they were rolling along, maybe the 4th, 5th seed, whatever, come February, would LeBron still have started calling for Anthony Davis? And if he did that wouldn't have been a good look. But I don't know. We don't know the answer to
he
that.
put up better numbers after he came back, except for one crucial number, and that's wins and losses. 8 and 13 after he came back. It's just not good enough. Not enough impact on the scoreboard.
I don't know, Chris, you ever had an injured groin, but I have. It's a lot more difficult to play defense with an injured groin because you don't know where the defender's going. At least if I got an injured groin and I got the basketball, I know where I'm going. And I'm not going to do anything that's going to put me at risk for sudden movement.
Yeah.
But if I'm playing defense, I got to slide here, slide there. So I'm not saying, Skip, I'm not saying he was locked down defense, sitting in the chair for 36 minutes before he got. But I think that injury made it look, then he started looking like Harden a couple of years ago. You remember Harden playing.
Right.
But that's okay, Skip. I want everybody to pile on. That man got big shoulders. We're going to drop 10 pounds and still be able to carry this thing. But we're going to come back.
That man with the big shoulders had the audacity to have his independent physical therapist post on her whatever site that he was in pain.
Would you have felt
his
better?
injury shouldn't have taken 6 weeks.
think
He
he
should have
put her
taken
up to
6
that?
months.
No,
we don't do
6
that.
months.
They had
We
her
do
take
that.
him down.
I know.
We do that.
I think
We
he
put
thought-
up our physical therapist to do that.
Well, sometimes, Skip, we look, and this is how I am in social media. Sometimes I'll meet some celebrities, Skip, and I was like, do you mind if I post this? Because I don't want to post something about me being somewhere, them being somewhere,
right.
and then someone take it. So I'll ask, do you mind if I post this? If they say no, cool, no problem. I'm sure she probably like, hey, took the picture with LeBron. LeBron didn't think she was going to post it.
Or say
I
everything
think she got
said.
tired of
The criticism.
right,
Yeah.
and she now who I don't want to
trying
call
to
her a liar.
stand
Who knows?